Dr. Pearl here again, week 6, and I am so happy to be here with you. This week, we're going to be looking at acting on evidence and working on a retention matrix plan. So there's a lot to look at. Let's go ahead and get going.
Let's talk about our current state and where we go from here. This week, we are really talking about leadership competencies, leadership effectiveness, and then bringing it all together from the evidence standpoint. As you all know, our entire time together has been about being evidence-based. So this week, our resources provide another chapter in Pfeiffer and Sutton Hard Facts. We're going to look at 2 articles that look at the evidence behind the Six Sigma methodology and employee engagement. And then we do have another video lecture on leadership assessment. The assignments due are a discussion, leadership accountability on an individual basis, your group discussion, crafting your retention matrix plan, and then the group assignment, turning in that retention matrix plan. As we get into each week's thought-provoking questions, it's so easy to use a lot of our own ideas based on our experience. But in academia and in business, if we are not able to back it with expertise, it's more like an opinion piece. Whereas if you can cite high-quality sources, not low-quality sources like blogs, Wikipedia, company websites, unless of course you're getting information about the company. Same goes for government websites if you're getting pertinent information. But LinkedIn also not a good source. At these sites, the not good source sites, there's no validity to what is being posted. There's no proof that it's the truth. And what we are looking for is the truth. That's what evidence is. And truth changes, as we know, based on new science findings. So until a paradigm lens switches and it goes from one set of beliefs to another based on research, the best way we can do is just support our work with the current scientific research findings. You know, there was a big difference between Newton in the 16 and 1700s, Einstein in the 19th and 20th century, and then Hussein Taylor in 1974, who started the binary system. They all changed the way we saw science. The new theorists are often in and proven after we believe something else is so. So think about 1970. We believed that fat made us fat. Now we know it's carbs and sugars. Avocados and meats are not the cause of us getting fat. Science said what we thought was true for a while, and then we realized as more and more people became obese in the 1980s and 90s, our logic was not right. Science went back and looked at it, and our beliefs changed. So what kind of evidence do we want? We want to provide quality evidence, peer-reviewed journals, or meta-analysis, the highest quality evidence to support our work. Peer review is optimal, and you can check a box in the AU library to determine that. We can also use books like the Pfeiffer and Sutton book that provide many studies in summary. That's okay too. Dissertations are pretty good, and professional associations like SHRM are also pretty good. But they are not the best evidence. They are more theoretical instead of valid studies. Please keep this in mind as you move forward in weeks 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to look ahead and see what the next 3 weeks will be bringing. Starting with this week, we're looking at posts around leadership accountability. What does the evidence say about this? That's how you should be answering. Not just your opinion, not just your professional judgment, because oftentimes our judgment is based on limited experience of years, many people, or people that we've studied. We also have group discussions this week. And in those, I'm going to be asking you, what's the cost of keeping underperformers and keeping people whose behavior do not align with our organization's core values? In week 7, individual discussions and group discussions are here again. But Sunday, you'll be sending me your slides, the slides that you will be using to create your group presentation. You are more than welcome to share what you're going to be talking about in that final presentation, or you can just send me the slides. Whatever it is that you send me, I'll get it back to you with feedback by the next day. Also, I would like to see the faces who will be talking when you put the presentation together. In week 8, your final presentation is due. Your presentation will be uploaded to the discussion board by Wednesday, so your classmates can provide feedback by Friday night. The individual assignment is due Sunday night. And yes, your week 4 and week 8 assignments have very similar themes. The idea here is to get deeper into what you've learned as the weeks have moved on and get the highest quality evidence to support what you are doing, what you're writing about. I will also ask that you put your team cooperation rating sheets in week 8. And you have a discussion post that relates to takeaways. It's due on Friday. And although there are there for peer learning, you will not be required to respond to the discussion. Let us take a little closer look at this week. The questions we're going to be asking are, what is leadership excellence? What is leadership accountability? How do leaders impact, for better or for worse, employee engagement and productivity? This is not your opinion. This is a go see what the research says. There are so many decades of research on leaders. Go find the things that help you understand how, as HR professionals, you can help leaders be better at driving performance, at really bringing the idea to the level where leaders are accountable for the success of teams and not just as individual contributors, which is a term that means you don't have people working for you. What does research show around leadership effectiveness, excellence, responsibilities? How might leaders impact, for better or for worse, employee engagement and productivity? For your group presentation, take a look at, what does it take for a person to want to work and stay with your organization, not need to stay? And at the highest levels, take a look at organizational citizenship. It's another concept that is very interesting and comes into this leadership thought.
So when you finish up with this week, there's only 2 weeks left. And next week, you'll go ahead and look at leadership. And then finally, we're going to pull it all together in that final project. Your presentation will be due. Of course, your slides are going to be due next week. So you've got a lot over the next couple weeks to do. And keep up the good work. Keep in communication with your team. And we'll bring it all home. So have a great week. Have a terrific next few weeks. And always do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, run into any challenges. My number, if you need to text and get some immediate response, is 941-962-1211, or you can email me and I'll be sure to get back to you within 24 hours.